What's up, future fighters? We are back. This is the fourth video in today's series on choosing offense and defensive moves. We have found a great area for counter control actually in offense. And as you know, we went through and we actually asked the question, should we take the counters out of the offensive approach? And the answer is no. You counter on the way in. Occasionally in real fighting, and all this game is based on real fighting. So we left it in there, and we actually found another area here highlighted that will actually work as a counter control as well. In the offensive script, this is the defensive script. This is actually counter control all through here. So that's what we're gonna do. We're actually gonna build a new counter control script. And we're going to base it off of strike control. So I'm just going to duplicate strike control. I'm going to call this script counter control. And we actually did this once already. But the principle was, I was thinking about it just in context of this area of the code, and now that I'm seeing that it extrapolates to other areas, I kind of want to take a different approach to this. Now we don't, like before, we don't need to have all these notes in this version because just say C script strike control for notes. And again, that's all going to be in strike control. We will need that just like before. So this is a similar situation. We don't need this block of code that deals with the opponent being in block and whether or not we need to use a block breaker. We got to get this right though. Okay. So we don't need that, which also means we don't need this else statement. So let's take care of that. As before, well, not necessarily as before. So this is why we're redoing it, because this is going to be also in choose offense. Let me go ahead and save. I'm just going to save this real quick so that this script gets named appropriately. You can see script counter control. And we need to pull up offense here. So this is a little bit different because now using counter control in this particular area means that we won't necessarily know now that strike number will be 0. And that is very, very important because we'll need some moves to use in that particular situation, which is pretty cool. Now, one thing we could do here is simply use, not use counters in this particular area, and that actually might be the best way to go rather than making another counter control script. Is simply use type 2 moves. So let's take a look at that option real quick. So that means we're going to need strike control. I'm going to need some notes here. So we're at the top of strike control. So 0, no. 1, back them off and stay out. Could work. Back out and stay out would work. Back them off, pressure forward. We definitely don't want to do that. So really, 1 and 2 would be really, really helpful in this particular situation. Means we may need to delete move number 12, which is what we're currently using now. Just making myself a note here on our list. Delete move 12. Is it used anywhere else? We can recheck that. So we could use strike control in this area in order to simplify things. Not to say that move number 17 wouldn't be used, because if you look in strike control, let's see if it's listed anywhere. There it is. So see, it could actually be accessed here. And I like that better because rather than duplicate things, which is why we kind of scrapped the other counter control script, is that we were repeating a lot of things, and the counters are here. One thing we could do in strike control, let's just delete this. Okay, one thing we could do in strike control, let me make sure that just want to make sure that script got deleted. Yes, it did. Cool. Is we could separate out the counters and have a switch in strike control for triggering counters. That ain't such a bad idea. That lets us really marry the two ideas quite nicely, actually. It would mean whenever you call strike control, you'd be using a set of moves that contain either, you can pick from anything, pick from the whole list, pick from just a list of counters, or so there would be definitely some separation in there. Probably not gonna do that. I'd rather if I was going to do anything like that, I would rather just implement a block release method here. Which would be fine. So let's take a look at that idea. So that's going to be in the do combo. It is? Yeah. So this is what happens when he only waits so long for you to punch him once he's entered the defensive script. So let's see what happens. So if he's currently in the combo escape sequence, let's move 10, and the wait time is 0, he makes a random range to counter attack you. Of course, the minute if you do anything, if you hit him or the wait time expires or you start hitting block breaker on him, then he's going to go out of that and he's going to go into another set of moves because you've changed the game on him. So he's going to adapt, which is cool. So and combo. So that's while this is occurring. Okay. Okay. So he's waiting. Let's see here. And you're exiting here. So you go in and so you've chosen defense. So let's see here. So I gotta back up a little bit. So you're problem is this loop here. Really? How does he break out of that? So okay, so you're in choose defense. Okay. Let's see here. Wow, we're gonna have to start from the beginning here. So let's save that. Let's close this. Let's close this and close this. So you come here when you get hit, you end combo, you go into move number 10. So you're going to execute that. Then once you finish that move, if you're here and your counter is wait times this, you set a range. If you see any of this, then you end and exit. If you don't, so you just stay in 10. Okay. So you just stay in 10 and you're just increasing your counter. Okay. And then either once the counter expires or if you get hit or the opponent uses a block breaker, then you go and end combo. Current move index is still going to be 10, though. And that's where I'm getting hung up. Because Okay, yeah, then you go into choose defense. Okay, good. Okay, good. So that passes you to choose defense. Sorry, I was getting stuck. Okay, good to go. Which is where we're at. So choose defense. And then you're going to make your evaluation, and you're going to pick another move. Great. Okay. Now, you could choose a strike move here. So you could choose to release block. And that is what would have to be in strike control. You see, you would have to separate out the counters. So like 3 and 17. Like, let's take a look at move number 3. This is a good model here, I think. We'll just go to move number 3. Pop down here. There we go. So right here is move number 3. See, it's a short range combo. So essentially what would happen is you would have these separated, and you would say, you could do one of two things. You could say if block is held down, so we'll just do this just as for fun. If block is held down, then only move 17. Else, you could choose from 3 or 17. That would be kind of the pseudocode of it. And that's how you could kind of pass. You could kind of use strike control kind of globally. And yeah, I mean, you know, that's one way you could do it. I'm not sure if I want to do that though. Not quite sure. I'm gonna have to think about that. Let me think about that for a little bit. And then while I think about that, why don't you go to docrockgames.com and check out the alpha version of the game. You can see what features I currently have in the game. You can see the 2 characters I currently have motion captured in the game. You can see those characters' moves and features in action. And you can put your email address in at the bottom, and I'll let you know when the game comes out. Then come back to YouTube, because this is a really interesting problem to work out. A lot of things converging from what we worked out in the past in the Making a Future Fighter playlist. So I can't wait to show you more, and we'll go from there. See ya.